Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz, and whilst Christmas is not that far away, the Indian fans get an early Christmas present simply because they get to see their Indian women's side take on the mighty Australians in a test match. Back-to-back test matches, which is unheard of. What we do know is that India will be comfortable and confident after a thumping victory against England, 347 runs, the highest test victory in women's test cricket. And whilst they come up against a side at Wankhede Stadium on the 21st of December, a side that they know very well and a side that they have played so many times and have had so many close encounters, this certainly is building up to be the big showpiece. Unlike the English, this one-off test match is part of a multi-format series. 4 points are on offer for the test match, then they move into 3 ODIs and 3 T20s. This is exciting and huge for women's cricket because back-to-back test matches rarely happens in this day and age. And whilst there were 3 debutantes for the Indian side, the whole entire side will be a lot more comfortable and confident moving into this next test match. It's amazing to think that both teams coming into this test match have both won their last test match. That just shows you that this rarely happens. One thing that I would love to see is, whilst this is the second time we're seeing the multi-format series between India and Australia, I'd love to see the series actually named after some former players. I'm putting it out there, Goswami and Fitzpatrick series. What do you guys think? 2 quality sides, 2 sides that have met regularly in semi-finals or finals of ICC events or the Commonwealth Games gold medal. When you think of Test cricket and you think of these 2 nations in the men's format, it's fought pretty hard, and I would assume that it's going to be exactly the same. Can you believe it? The last time that the Australian team went and played Test match cricket in India was 1983. That's 40 years ago. The series was drawn, 4 tests, 3 of them were played over 3 days. Boy, how things have changed. But I expect huge crowd coming in and to see some quality cricket. The other thing to think of when this test match takes place is the fact that we're going to see some of the next big names, huge names within women's cricket. When you think of the Indian women's side, you think of Shafali Verma and the fireworks she possesses at the top. Then from the Australian team, you look at a Phoebe Litchfield coming off only 1 test match against England. She is someone that the Australian team and the Australian public have grown to love, and no doubt, having just been picked up for the Gujarat Giants, the Indian public will get to know her even more. So watch out for those 2 young guns going head to head at the top of the order. And then from an Australian perspective, there might be an opportunity for Lauren Cheadle to come back into the Australian side. 2019 was the last time that she donned on the Australian colours. She may be the only test debutante for the Australian side if selected. And being a left arm fast bowler that's got a very similar action and technique to Mitch Starc, maybe not as quick as Mitch Starc, but shapes the ball back into the right-handers, might be a key matchup the Australians are looking for. And then the final 2 players I want to talk about is the spinning all-rounders. Dipti Sharma, what an outstanding performance the last test match against England, picked up 9 wickets in total and scored crucial runs. Then on the flip side, you think of Ash Gardner. She was player of the match in the last test match that Australia played against England in June. Both of them can turn the ball sharply. Both of them can score crucial runs. I want to see who wins that battle. From an Indian perspective, I wouldn't expect many changes. When you think of the workload that the fast bowlers had to go, Renika Singh Thakur and Pooja Vastrika, they didn't even bowl 20 overs in that test match. So they should be fresh, and they gained a day and a half back. So that is going to be crucial. The only change potentially is the debutant in Satish Shubha, who picked up a hairline fracture and didn't take part in the rest of the test match. She looks so at ease batting at number 3, 69 runs. I wish that she might be able to get up for this test match, because I'd love to see how she goes against the Australians. But with that type of injury, I'd be surprised if she does. If that's the case and she doesn't take place, Yastika Bhatia comes in, and she batted at number 3. And so then who comes into the playing 11? I would actually think that Richa Ghosh is the type of player that could come in and provide a little bit more depth and potentially be the wicket keeper. In terms of the batting order, exactly the same. Smriti, Mandhana, Shafali Verma, Yastika Bhatia at that number 3. Jemima Rodrigues playing her debut match. She looked comfortable, probably the most comfortable I've seen her at international cricket. Harmanpreet Kaur, I'm sure that maiden 50 isn't too far away. Pooja Vastrika, what a spell of bowling against the English, and that delivery to get out Nat Siva Brunt. So she will be a key. Then you've got Renuka Singh Thakur swinging the ball nicely, again a debutant from the last test match. And then the 2 spinners, Sneh Rana and Rajeshwari Gaikwad. They weren't really used in that test match. Maybe they will here at Wankhede. For the Australians, the top order is pretty locked and loaded. There won't be a real change. Beth Mooney, Phoebe Litchfield, the 2 left-handers. Talia McGrath coming off the success of Big Bash, winning for the Adelaide Strikers. She's finding some form with bat and ball. And then Elise Perry, who was born to play this format. Look at her to bat time and really tire the Indian bowlers out. Then you've got Elisa Healy, and good news is that she scored a half century in that warm-up game against Mumbai, coming off that surgery with her thumb. So that's good signs for her. Ash Gardner, Annabelle Sutherland, I'm elevating her to that number 7 position. She scored a century at number 8 against England, so I think she deserves to go up. She'll be a handful for India, both with the bat and ball. And then this is where the selection gets a little bit interesting. The Australian selectors could go for 2 leg spinning all-rounders, really, Georgia Wareham and Alana King, or Jess Jonassen could replace one of them. I think King should play. She's an aggressive leg spinner, and then it's up to whether they want Wareham or Jess Jonassen. Remember that Jonassen has already scored a 99 in Test cricket. Lauren Cheadle, I think, gets the nod just ahead of Kim Garth because she's left arm bowler who swings the ball back in. And then Darcy Brown, that pace. You see it at the front end and see it in the middle when Australia need to turn to a bouncing or short pitch kind of barrage to the Indian batters. It's going to be an interesting selection for the Australian side. These 2 sides are so good. It is mouth-watering, the battles that are going to come up. I cannot wait for it. Make sure if you're in Mumbai, you get down to Wankhede Stadium for the 21st of December. If not, click on to Cricbuzz for all of the action, and I'll see you again for the review.